Right now, I'm at Harford Bank. I came to cash my check because I didn't have nowhere else to cash it. I've never been to this bank before, and the lady took my check that works at the bank. I'm being discriminated against because I came to cash a check and she tells me that she called the owner and the owner doesn't know me and he's never heard of me before. Took my check and my ID and said she wasn't giving it back. And I'm right now at Harford Bank. I came through the drive-through. I have my kid in the car. I had to call 911 and I'm just standing out here and I'm being discriminated against. Hello. How you doing? I came to cash my check. And I drove all the way out here. I live in Owings Mills. Okay. I came out here because that's the issuing person that issues the bank. I mean, the check. I gave my check to the lady through the drive-through, and she took my check. She's right here.
I got you. I'll figure out what's going on. Can you get a ID?
Very calm.
Yeah, I was calm because it's so much going on, you know, with police officers and stuff, and I just was thinking about my kids.
Yes.
In the car.
Absolutely.
And I didn't want my kids to see me act in such a way that may have scared them. So I had to think.
Makes sense. So can you first introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about that video that we just saw?
Yeah, my name is MarylandR. That's my stage name. My government name is Shara Brown. I'm a mom. I also do music on the side. I went to get some stuff from like Home Goods and Wegmans. Here in Baltimore, we were so scared because the corona, and everyone was like, hey, it's going to be locked down the weekend. You got to make sure you get all your stuff. So I went on ahead and I was running to the stores and I was calling around to try to see who had baby milk. None of the stores in my area had baby milk. So I had the check with me and I had my ID with me. I usually leave my ID in like the top part of my car with my registration to my car. And I had the check in my back pocket. I ran out the house. I grabbed my 2 babies and baby bag and car seat. And, you know, so once I started driving and I went to the store, I'm like, well, I might as well just go ahead and cash the check. So I looked on the GPS and I was trying to find out where a close Harford Bank was because I never heard of Harford Bank before. I kept thinking it was Howard Bank and it was one down the street from my house. And then when I looked on the GPS, it said that it was one about 40 minutes away. So I went to a check cashing place to cash a check, and they told me that because the check was 14 days old, that they weren't able to cash my check.
Now, which bank said this?
This was like a check cashing place.
Gotcha. Okay.
Like a side place. Yeah, like a side place. So I'm like, okay, well, to Harford County I go. So I went out there. While I was on my way out there, I called. It was a market that was like close by, and I asked them, like, do you guys have any baby milk? The clerk told me that they did. I asked them, could they put some baby milk aside for me? And they did. When I got to the bank, it's like a call button. Like you can talk through the drive-through because they had the inside closed.
Okay.
Because of the coronavirus. So they had everyone going through the drive-through. I got there maybe 4 something. If I wasn't mistaken, the bank closed about 5. When I pulled up and I hit the call button, it was another lady that was helping me, a young girl. Her name was Jasmine. I gave her my check. I gave her my ID, and I sent it through the little shooter. And then she was like, I'll be right back. So then the other lady, which she goes by the name of Gail, she was the branch manager. She came back to the screen and was like, where do you work? And I was like, I work for the Olive Branch and Grill. And she said, and that's in Aberdeen, Maryland? And I said, no, it's on Reisterstown Road. And she said, 1 second. So she came back and was like, I'm not giving you your check. And I'm not giving you your ID. She said, this check is fraudulent. And she was like, and she didn't say I'm calling the cops yet. She was like, goodbye, bye, goodbye. And it caught me off guard.
Right.
I'm thinking that when she was coming back to the screen, she was going to ask me, how did I want the money back? So I started pressing the call button again. And when I started pressing the call button, she came back and she was like, what do you want? She was like, I'm not giving you anything. She was like, and I'm calling the police. And I said, that's my check. That's my paycheck I actually work for. And she was like, this is a fraudulent check. The coloring is off on the check. So I told her that I was calling the police. And she said, I'm calling the police. So after that, I called the police. I was on the phone with the police for about like 5 minutes. I kept trying to explain to the lady what was going on. So then she started asking me like, well, what is the make and model of a car out there that might be connected to the branch? So I gave her the tags and the make of a model of a car that was like a Cadillac truck. I'm quite sure it was hers. And then the police came. When the police came, he automatically approached me and asked me for my ID.
Which you don't have.
I was like, the lady took my ID. She has my ID. So they were saying that they sent it back through the shooter. So the police had to go to the shooter, get the ID, and he started reading my ID off with my tags. So I had I had the shooter, and he started reading my ID with the tags. So I felt like it was told that I was cashing a fraudulent check because he never asked me what was going on. He just straight asked me for my ID.
Okay.
So once he did that, he was like, let me talk to her. We're going to figure out what's going on. She came back to the door. That's when I got the recording of her walking with her hands folded. And the officer came out. Another one showed up. And I think his name is Karate or Karate. I think his name is Karate. He works for the Hartford County Sheriff Department. He was very, very nice. He said, is there any way that we can verify your check because she put it in a vault? And I can't get the check now because she called in stating that you were trying to cash a fraudulent check. But now that I'm in here and I'm trying to see the check, she's telling me she can't get it off the vault. So I was like, yeah. So I called my boss. My boss had to call his boss. His boss doesn't know me. He's the owner. He doesn't work there. He doesn't see us every day. So he won't know us by name. Right. My boss, my manager, he was going off. He was upset. And he kept saying that there's no way in the world people cash their checks there all the time. It shouldn't have been a problem. And the police officer talked to him for a while. And then she just started getting really nasty with the police. She started being real rude, nasty, snobbish. They kept asking her, is there any way that you can get the check out? She was like, no.
Now, let me understand this. So she puts your check in a vault. She puts it in the vault. But then she says that she cannot get into the very vault that she put it in.
Until the next day. She said they won't be able to open it until the next day.
So how'd she get it open in order to get the check in?
That was my question.
Right.
So he wouldn't let me talk to her. I guess he wanted to keep down the confrontation. They had me standing outside. They was inside with her, inside the glass part. I didn't really understand it from the beginning to the end. Even when the police officer was still talking to her, it seemed like she just was mad. Like she just kept telling him, tell her to stop recording me. He was like, well, you have her property. She can record me because you have her property.
Right. So did you talk to the police about pressing charges? Because isn't that theft?
Yeah, I asked him, would I be able to press charges? He told me that I would have to get her information. I would have to go down there and I would have to file charges on her myself.
Okay.
So it wasn't something that they could lock her up on the scene. I would have to actually go press charges on her. I still don't have her last name. I'm still waiting for someone from the bank to contact me. I haven't been contacted yet by the bank at all. I haven't talked to anyone. I only got her name because the young lady, which is the manager there, when I went the next day to get my check, her name is Amber. She said, I don't understand why she would even need to verify the check. The check was fine to me. She kept just apologizing and saying, I'm sorry that you had to go through that.
And this was another supervisor.
Yeah, this was another manager the next day because, I couldn't get my check. So I had to wait. That's why the police had to take me to go get the milk because they didn't want me had to ride all the way 40 minutes home, get money, turn back around and come all the way back out for milk. And the baby needed milk right then and there because it was a video that I didn't post where my baby was actually screaming.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
Oh.
So like while we was on our way there, I only fed her like baby food. It was no milk on the shelves at all. So I've been feeding her baby food, but she just got the scream because I was out there for a while. We was out there maybe about a good 45 minutes. And I wish I could have got more video, but my phone died.
Okay. Well, hold on really quickly because I want to share that other video that you posted of the police. So,
okay.
Yeah, 1 second.
Come on, babe.
Hello.
Hey. Oh, yeah.
How old is this one here?
10 months.
10 months. What's your name?
Say, I need milk.
Hi. You need milk? We're gonna see if we can find you some.
Thank you.
Do we need anything else over here?
No.
No.
Just I came all the way out here just to get milk.
Gotcha. Let's see what we can get. I'm not sure what it is. I think it might be like locked up. That thing, yeah, that might have.
Because it's infamil.
What's it called?
Infamil.
Infamil.
My kids had infamil too.
It's usually like this the baby aisle right here. They have to bring me to get milk because the lady took my check and put it in the vault. Just something to get through the day because he said that I can meet him tomorrow.
Yeah.
So
I don't want to put you guys on camera. Well, thank you to these gentlemen. I appreciate you guys. They had to bring me to get milk for my baby because she took my check and wouldn't give it back. And I'm out of work due to the coronavirus. And I had. Come on, babe.
Hello.
Hey. Oh,
All
yeah.
right.
How old is this one here?
Really nice
So,
office.
I have to say, like that broke my heart. Like, oh my gosh, what were you thinking at that moment?
I didn't want them to see me crying, so I tried to get myself together. I was embarrassed. I really was embarrassed. My 7-year-old was there. She seen the whole thing. I've never been through anything like that before.
I'm so sorry. I mean, it's so heartbreaking because I know the check, you mentioned that the check was a $90 check.
Yeah.
So, which is absolutely mind-boggling because when I first started watching the video, I'm thinking she must have walked into this branch with a $9,000 check and they're like, oh no, honey, this is not going to fly, right?
Right.
But a $90 check.
Right.
So I know you said you spoke with, or someone spoke with a guy named Brian there at the branch.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
what did you say?
So the police officer spoke with him.
Okay.
That was the one that he spoke to when I was there, when the whole situation first happened. He was on the phone with him. I think he was the regional manager, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
When I called the next day to get an update because they were saying they wanted to meet me halfway. They were going to cash my check, meet me halfway, so I didn't have to drive that far. And Brian was going to meet me. I told him no. I didn't want him to meet me, Like, I felt like they were trying to keep me away and they were trying to protect her, knowing what she did. So when I called, I started calling like 8 o'clock that morning. Around like maybe 10:30, they told me that they were in a meeting. I called back again about 12. They said it was in a meeting again. I'm like, okay, this is it. I'm going out there again. By the time I got out there, it was another manager there. I'm not sure whether she was there. Her name is Gail. I'm not sure whether she was there, but I know that the girl Jasmine was there. And that was the first young lady that was helping me when I first pulled up to the window.
Right.
She said that the lady was very, very rude to me. She said that she didn't understand why she just didn't cash the check, because she said that she would have. My coworker went with me that day, the next day, for me to get my check, and they cashed our check with no problem.
So I did see that they cashed your check while you stood at the door.
Yeah.
Okay.
They wouldn't let us in.
Yeah. So, I mean, you would think they would go above and beyond to help you at this point, because they have to see a lawsuit coming.
Yeah.
So, you know what? So I'm actually overstepping myself. Are you going to sue?
Yes, I am.
Good.
I am.
Have you spoken with anyone about that yet?
Yes, I have.
Okay. All right, good. Because so when I saw it again, I wanted to cry. I did. Honestly, I wanted to cry. And to know that you were going to use that money to buy your baby some food, I have 3 of my own, that almost set me over the edge. But the police were really kind.
They were.
However, the police were kind and the people were kind when you spoke with them the following day, but that doesn't take away from what happened.
Yeah.
So what did you said your daughter, who is 7, right?
Yeah.
She's 7. She was in the car with you. Did she say anything?
She kept asking me, "Mommy, why you're crying?" Because when the police told me to follow them to get milk, I was crying in front of the bank.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot. I didn't get the other officer's name, but he just kept telling me it's going to be okay. I think I was more emotional than anything. I wasn't crying because I'm like, oh my goodness, how I'm gonna feed my baby. It was, I can't believe that she just did this to me. And what if that was like my very last dollar, to get my baby some food, and my baby was screaming and crying, and she just profiled me and thought that I was just a young Black girl trying to cash a fraudulent check. She didn't see me.
A fraudulent $90 check.
Yeah, fraud.
Right.
And she didn't see me as just, a regular person.
A human.
Yeah, a human. She just didn't see me that way. And I was very shocked by the way she talked to me. And I think that's what really did it. And my babies was there. And I was embarrassed. I was humiliated.
Absolutely.
I was humiliated. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe she was saying what she was saying, especially when she told me to go away from the window. When she was like, bye.
Okay, so really quickly, I was put one of our followers said that she wanted to cry. She really hate that you experienced that. And I think that's mainly the sentiments of most of us who saw that video. A few people have reached out to us via inbox to see how you were doing. So how are you? How are you now?
I'm getting there. I'm out of work. I've been out of work for 2 weeks, and I just received my last check and my last little bit of chump change that you put to the side for a rainy day. And I'm a single mom, so I pay all my bills on my own. I don't get child support or anything like that. I seen a couple of people who was on Facebook was stating like, well, why she don't get child support, and why she doesn't get this help, and why does she get that help, and WIC. And I just wanted to clear something that my oldest daughter dad passed away 5 years ago. So, I don't get help for her. And, I get help for my small baby from, her dad's side. But a lot of people were just being really mean about it. Yeah. And, it's hard when you're a single mom, whether, the dad is, helping, you still have bills, you still got to make sure that your kids are okay and you're keeping a roof over their head. And it's a lot being a mom. And
absolutely.
And they were stating that, why couldn't I just get WIC? And I went to get WIC. I'm not ashamed to say, I went to get WIC, and she was getting Similac, and I asked, could she get something else because it was upsetting her stomach. And her doctor told me he was unable to give me anything besides Similac, but he could give me Similac sensitive. she wouldn't take to it. So I had to start paying out of pocket for her milk.
So the doctor
Yeah.
said that they couldn't give you anything. That's interesting.
Yeah, they said that. They said that they do not provide anything besides Similac in the state of Maryland. I live in Baltimore County, and WIC even said it. They was like, we don't provide Enfamil. We only carry Similac.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah,
I wonder why that's so.
Yeah, I know in some other states they give Enfamil because I didn't seen it when I'm Googling and stuff, but they don't do that here. So I just wanted to clear things up. And I wanted to tell everybody that I really appreciate everything, every comment, every DM, every heartfelt message that I got. I really appreciate everything.
Okay, so another question just came in. It says, if your daughter's father passed, aren't you entitled to Social Security for your daughter?
I wish. He never worked before. So when they never put any time into the state doesn't pay out anything.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, okay. So a couple of things. One, there has been people who have wanted to mail you some Enfamil because so they I don't know if you have a PO box or how the heck you want to work that out, but the offer has been there. It's in our inbox. I saved the information, so if you have a PO box, let us know, or if you figure out where somebody can send some Enfamil to, that that the address that you don't mind sharing, please let us know and we will forward that to people.
I definitely will.
Okay, the next thing and the most important thing for me, which is why I wanted to do this video, I have been reading that a lot of people were coming up with fake Cashapp names for you.
Yeah, they were.
Right? And just to clarify, what is your Cashapp name if people want to send you a donation?
My Cashapp name is Maryland, like the state, MaryLand, with an R, and it should say Shira Brown.
Okay. And then so yes, the question was, did you lose your job? And I know you said you are a bartender. Right, you're currently a bartender. So can you explain to people who aren't aware of what's going on, why as a bartender you are not working at this moment?
Yeah, so because of the coronavirus and you can't have 10 or more people, they don't want restaurants open. It is a restaurant bar. So by it being a restaurant bar, like a it's almost like not like a Fridays. Well, yeah, like a Fridays. It's like the Olive Branch. I'm quite sure you guys have been to like it's like that, and it's just a bar. They can't be open, so they shut down. You don't have benefits there. I get paid $3.62 an hour because I live off of tips. All tips aren't great every day. Sometimes I leave with $40. Sometimes I leave with $200. It all depends on what night. And, 9 times out of 10, you only get two good nights a week. People like to come out on weekends. Okay. So I really live off tips.
So the suggestion was that people can send the formula to your job. Do you think your job would let you utilize their address to receive the Enfamil donation?
Yeah, I'm quite sure he will. His name is Sam. If they want to put his name on it, he's a very nice guy, amazing. He's my boss. His name is Sam, so he definitely will take the milk.
So do you know the address to the place offhand? Mm-hmm. Can you give us the address?
Yeah, so it's 11706 Reisterstown Road, and that is Owings Mills, Maryland 21117.
Okay. So I'll make sure that I add that in the comments so people will be able to find that information. Have you heard whether this woman still has her job right now?
No.
You haven't heard?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
I haven't talked to anyone. No one has reached out to me yet.
Oh, I'm sure they're running with their tails between their legs because they have to smell a lawsuit coming. They have to smell it.
I mean, I would think that they would reach out to me because I'm a customer first. And, you know, the way it was handled was just outrageous. You know,
the fact that even with her talking to the police and the police verifying with your job that this is a real check, and she still was refusing to give them the check, like that says a lot. You know,
she was rude. She was very rude. She was getting smart with the police. She was very rude.
Right.
Even the police officer said it. He told our the regional manager Brian on the phone. He said, "I just want you to understand how rude she is. She's very rude, just nasty." Even when I asked what was her name to the coworkers, the other manager Amber, she just was shaking her head and she just was like, "Her name is Gail." Like she just was just sick. You can tell she just was very bothered by it.
Okay, so no, her boss did not have to reissue a check. They finally did cash the check for her the next day.
No, they didn't cash the check for me the next day. They cashed my last check. So the check I got that Friday, which was for $50. They cashed that check. The check for the $90.85, I actually kept it for my records because she said that the reason why she felt the check was fraudulent was because the coloring was off. And I want them to be able to see this check and see that the coloring is not off. It was nothing wrong with the check.
Okay, so did your boss reissue a check then?
No. He just, that check was 14 days before, so that was a check that was 2 weeks out. Okay. And then that Friday, when I went back to get that check, I had another check from my last check from my job, which was the $50.
So you're holding the other one for evidence.
Yeah, I'm holding the other one for evidence because I want the judge to look at this check and see that nothing was off about this check.
Absolutely. Have you contacted the local news media?
Yeah, I did. And they said that because of all the the coronavirus and everything that's going on, those stories, they said that I would have to email them. They would have to look into it and then they would get back to me because it's not priority at this moment. And I understand that because I know there's a lot going on. I know. It's like, I wish I could just like walk in there and be like, hey, but I mean, there's nothing I really can do. I mean, I did write them. I called and I talked to someone and they said they were looking into the story. And they asked me where they could see the video. I gave them your page and I gave them It's On Site page and I gave them Trick Daddy's information on Facebook. Okay.
All right, you guys. Well, I thank you for joining us. Right now we are live on my yes, she is still owed $90. Yes, she is still owed her $90. Absolutely. But right now you're live on my Chocolate Milk Matters Facebook page. As soon as we get off here, I have a few pages online and I will be sharing your information all over, honey, because I promise you, you made me proud because you kept a calm head. And I just don't know, like I would love to say that in that situation I would have been calm, but I don't know because I was getting pissed for you.
You know, so, when I usually see this happen, I'm like, I would do this and do that. I think that when you're in that moment, you're really shocked.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think that, and then my babies was there, and I'm just like, I was hurt.
All right, so hold on, really quickly. Give me your Cash App name again.
So it's the money sign, and then it's Maryland, like the state. MarylandRd with a capital R.
With a capital R. Got it. Okay. So There we go, right there. For anybody who would like to make a donation, please do. There is a lot going on, but we cannot allow people to start. And it's not, and I hate to use the word start because they've always treated us like that, but you can't look at somebody's face, look at their complexion, and then decide that they're a thief. So we have to do something about that. Please keep us updated.
I will.
Yes, please keep us updated. I will keep sharing your video, and I will start sending out the address to people so they can send out the info for you.
Okay, and I'll let my boss know that it's coming so he could be on the lookout.
All right, well, take care of yourself, and I appreciate you.
You too, be blessed. Thank you so much for everything. You've been amazing.
Yes, you as well. Bye now.
Bye-bye.
Are you okay?